Jurassic Park is one of the most iconic franchises of all time, and Steven Spielberg is one of the most iconic directors of all time. I mean, whether you look at Jaws, E.T., or, as I mentioned, Jurassic Park, I mean, the guy has an insane history of filmmaking behind him. But it's no question people wonder, especially fans of the series wonder, what would the franchise or the original movie look like if it followed the books faithfully, or the book. If you don't know, it's a heavily debated topic within the Jurassic Park fan community because the book is much darker than the movie that we got, and any movie beyond that we've received in this franchise. So today I will be going over kind of what that would maybe look like and just kind of diving into that. So if you're interested, make sure to like, subscribe. If you like this kind of video, let me know so I can make more. Like I said, I'm trying different things. Try scripted, non-scripted. So this one will be a little bit more scripted. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Now, what if I told you the Jurassic Park movie you know and love barely scratches the surface of the book it's based on? Michael Crichton's 1990 novel is darker, more violent, more philosophical, and arguably more terrifying. Today, we're diving deep into what a faithful adaptation of Jurassic Park would look like, from shocking character deaths to themes of corporate greed and science run amok. This is not your childhood dino adventure that you know and love. So buckle up and welcome to Jurassic Park, the book version. Now, the novel doesn't start with grandeur. It opens with horror. Instead of sweeping shots of Isla Nublar, we start in Costa Rica, where a girl is attacked on a beach by mysterious lizard-like creatures, which you may recognize from, I believe it's Jurassic Park 2. Either way, that's an opening from one of the movies, so a little familiarity there. In a nearby clinic, a severely injured man arrives, his body mutilated by what locals call raptors. Cut to a series of cryptic corporate memos, genetic lab incidents. This isn't spectacle, it's tension. A techno-thriller. This sets the tone for a more grounded and unsettling film, one that builds dread slowly, like Jaws, not Avengers. In Crichton's novel, science isn't wondrous, it's actually dangerous. The book spends significant time with geneticist Henry Wu, who was showcased in the original film, showing the cold, clinical mindset behind bringing dinosaurs back to life. He even argues the dinosaurs should be genetically altered to be slower, safer, and more easily controlled. Now, this version of Wu is not the slick villain of the later films. He's a true believer and deeply naive. A faithful film would explore the ethical minefield of cloning and genetic engineering. The island is a laboratory, not a theme park, as the film kind of portrays it as. Now, let's talk characters, because many of them are drastically different. John Hammond is not the cuddly, homey grandfather that we got to see in Spielberg's film. In the book, he's very arrogant, greedy, and dismissive of any warning signs. And while he does have those traits in the movie, it's more portrayed as him being a grandfather first. He doesn't care about wonder, he cares about profit. And guess what? He dies, eaten by compies in a moment of poetic justice. He doesn't live to get on the helicopter with Dr. Grant and all the others at the end of the film. Speaking of Dr. Grant, he's still the dino-loving paleontologist, but he's much more rugged. Because in the novel, he likes kids, a big change from the film's grumpy dad turns good arc. In the novel, you know, he wants kids. He enjoys being around them. He's a very fatherly figure. So it would be quite the shift from the movie where he has to kind of come around to them and he's annoyed at first and straight up trying to avoid the children. And Ellie Sattler is actually younger and more assertive, but just as smart. Though her screen time would be more technical and less romantic. Ian Malcolm, however, is still chaos incarnate. So I guess Jeff Goldblum could still play him in this version of the film. But he's not the cool rock star of the film. He's more of a prophetic doomsayer. He's wounded early and delivers most of his insights while on morphine, rambling about entropy and math. Oh, and in the book, he also dies. Or does he? Crichton retcons this later, but we'll get into that maybe in another video, maybe later in this. We'll see. Gennaro, the lawyer, is actually not a coward in this version. He's a competent, brave character who helps save lives. A far cry from that infamous bathroom scene in the original Jurassic Park film. But then again, what's a movie without an easily hateable character that you could just kill off in a satisfying manner, right? And the kids, well, Tim is the older sibling, a tech-savvy hacker and dino nerd. Lex is younger, bratty, and largely there for comedic relief. As you may have already noticed on that brief description, Spielberg flipped their roles entirely for the movie, which is an interesting take, but one that I didn't really think, really took me out of it too much. I'm a person who has read the novel before seeing that, or after seeing that film, and then I would go back and watch it, and honestly, that part never really bothered me. In Crichton's novel, the dinosaurs are not majestic, actually. They're monsters, and rightfully so. The T-Rex attack is longer, bloodier, and way more destructive. It doesn't stop at one attack. It stalks the kids for miles, through rivers and jungle, even shoving its head into a waterfall. I mean, T-Rexes are known now as being, notoriously good hunters. So this really makes sense, and it would add so much more tension to the film. Velociraptors, practically xenomorphs in the book. They open doors, communicate, hunt in complex packs. There's even a raptor nest in the maintenance tunnels, which turns into a claustrophobic, pitch-black nightmare. And honestly, just describing it, I don't want to be in that situation. If I am ever in that situation, just kill me before I have to go through that, because claustrophobia is one thing. It's something I never thought I was afraid of, and then I put myself in claustrophobic situations, and I quickly realize it is a phobia. It definitely is. And yes, they kill people. A lot of people, actually. You might be sensing a pattern here. Crichton doesn't shy away from gore in his novel. Nedry's death is gruesome. Muldoon fights for his life with a rocket launcher, and even Wu is killed during a raptor ambush. This novel is unforgiving. It makes the film that we got from Spielberg look like, a kid's adventure compared to this stuff. So it's pretty crazy the difference is there. This isn't just an action story, however. It's a cautionary tale. And the central theme? You can't control nature. You just can't. Malcolm's chaos theory lectures Hammer... I'm sorry, I misspoke. Malcolm's chaos theory lectures Hammer this home. The unpredictability of complex systems, like an ecosystem, makes control an illusion. There's also corporate greed. InGen isn't a dream. It's a biotech company that cuts corners, ignores red flags, and pays the ultimate price because of it. And of course, hubris. Another theme very much explored in this book. Hammond thinks he's playing God, but nature always finds a way. To quote Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way. To put this back in our place, Mother Nature, it's always said, Mother Nature's a bitch, and an unforgiving one at that. And playing God, I can't personally find a story where playing God ever gets you anything good, especially long term. Shit comes around. So just maybe keep that in mind if any of you are trying to, or thinking about creating a monstrous dinosaur theme park. So, I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just giving my advice. The book ends very differently from the movie. No triumphant helicopter escape, as I briefly mentioned earlier. No lingering look at peaceful brachiosauruses. The survivors are battered, traumatized, and detained by the Costa Rican government. The island is completely napalmed. That's right, they just blow up Isla Nublar. And there's a final twist. Some dinosaurs have escaped to the mainland. Raptors are nesting. The implication? The danger is not over. It's actually just beginning. Which perfectly sets up a natural sequel. Unlike the first Jurassic Park that Spielberg made, I didn't really enjoy the second one. The third one I liked more. If you want to know my actual thoughts, I have a ranking video on these. It's either out or it's coming out, depending on when you view this. But yeah, I think this sets up a much more natural sequel, and honestly creates a lot of tension that audiences would probably be chomping at the bits to see. But what would a faithful Jurassic Park movie look like? In the end, it would be darker, smarter, and more brutal. Less about theme park rides and more about scientific recklessness and the hubris of man. Think The Thing meets the Andromeda Strain with a sprinkle of aliens. And if that sounds like a movie for you, then you're in the same camp as me. Would it be as beloved? I mean, maybe not. That kind of depends. It would be a different kind of classic, though. One that honors Crichton's vision of a world where science, unchecked, becomes the real monster. Now, the factor of it being beloved, there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, would Spielberg still direct it? Okay. If so, how would he direct it? Would he be able to portray the horror? I mean, E.T. isn't very scary, but then we have Jaws. So, 50-50 on, which direction he takes it. Would the actors in the main roles be as charismatic? And especially with the way they're written, like I've been describing, the novel is very different in a lot of ways from the film that we got. So the charisma might not be there for all of them, which may lead to people, enjoying the movie less, because you have to kind of somewhat like the characters you're seeing on screen for majority of the runtime. Let me know in the comments, though, would you watch this version of Jurassic Park? And if you could remake it, who would you cast? Like I mentioned, casting is important. I'm not a very good, casting director myself, so I'm interested to see if anybody else has any better ideas than me. But I think, me personally, I think this movie is something that needs to happen, especially if you've been a fan of the franchise. I wouldn't say it's dying, but it's definitely not as fresh as it was when Jurassic World came out. There was a lot of hope when that came out, but I don't know. I just think it's time to switch it up. It's not a unpopular opinion or a unique take for me to say most people want to see a horror version of Jurassic Park, and most people want to see it follow the novel more closely. So I figured I would make this video and just kind of go over what that might look like, and hopefully someday soon or in the future we can get a film like this, because I think it's the perfect next step, and it'd be a good way to reboot it, and it would actually be a reboot that's justified and probably welcomed by most fans. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And before I leave you, just remember, life finds a way.